Hi. You're getting this because at some point in our history, you expressed some interest in my career as a writer. And as you might have noticed, or you might not have, I'm running some crowdfunding to bring about the first printing of a book of short stories that I wrote, my first book of short stories that I wrote. I recognize that crowdfunding kind of has this stigma these days that, like, if you hear and have a, like, if somebody who's doing crowdfunding sends a note to somebody about their crowdfunding campaign, that, like, there's some expectation wrapped up in it that the person on the receiving end is like expected to contribute to that campaign or something. Well, that's not really. And so the stigma is that you're gonna the term is burn your own social network if you run a crowdfunding campaign, because if you run a crowdfunding campaign, then you're constantly telling your friends and family, go and contribute to it. That's the stigma, right? Well, I'm not running my campaign that way, not really. I don't expect to. If you've heard about my campaign, and I know that I probably sent you a note, and maybe not, if I haven't, then I'm probably going to at some point. And the reason I'm sending it to you is not because I've got any kind of like expectation that you're going to contribute to it or anything like that. I'm sending you a note about it because I'm kind of using this campaign and this book as a first step in long-term plan to kind of like start my publishing career, my writing career, my career as a publisher and a writer. And I'm proud of it. I just think that it's cool. I'm just having a good time doing it. And if I'm sending you a note about it, I have no expectation that anybody is going to contribute to this campaign. It's cool if they do, but the much more powerful thing that people can do, that I'm hoping people who care about my career as a writer can do, and the reason that I'm really sending people stuff, the most powerful thing that people can do is go and send the campaign to like 2 people they know who write, just with a note that says something like, or not write, readers, not writers, but readers, writers too. I mean, readers and writers can be the same people. It's not necessarily, they're not mutually exclusive, I've heard. Point being, the most powerful thing that anybody can do, and I hope this isn't too windy sounding, is to like think of 2 people they know who read books and send the campaign to them and just say, hey, I know that you like to read. Here's a thing done by a writer that I know. And that's like 100 times more powerful than if I send my campaign out to any social network or to a group of people or anything. You know, one individual who isn't mean sending my campaign to 2 people and saying, you read, you might look at this, with no expectation, is enormously powerful as a marketing tool for me. So here's how this works, right? If you're interested in me as a writer, but you're not necessarily interested in sinking some money into an Indiegogo campaign or any kind of crowdfunding, because crowdfunding doesn't work, but you are interested in my career as a writer, and you're really just you're waiting for the audiobook or whatever, which I would wait for the audiobook myself, and you're cool with all this, right? Then I'm probably going to be sending you a note with my campaign in it. It's no expectation incorporated in that, except maybe look at it and then send it to like 1 or 2 other people who you know who read, without any expectation, because the future will take care of itself. This is kind of how I feel about things. The future will take care of itself. The stories will be there. The stories will be there to be read later for anybody who is interested. And I'm just excited that I wrote some stories.